Who knows where I am? Who knows where I am right now? Hope I didn't give it away yet. Love these new boots. I got them at the outlet probably this time last year. Barely worn them. Still kind of breaking them in. So, who knows where I am? Of course I'm in Gettysburg. I'll give you a hint. I'm very close to a famous rock. Of course, that only kind of narrows down your guesses. There's Maryland Allegheny Johnson. And we are standing at Forbes Rock. Edwin Forbes painted this scene from a sketch made from following the battle. It depicts the Confederate attack here on the morning of July 3rd. The large boulder to your front, known as Forbes Rock, became a landmark after the battle. A useless sacrifice of life. Soaked to the waist from fording Rock Creek, 4,700 Confederate infantrymen stumbled through the darkness and up the slope to your front on the evening of July 2nd. The unseen Union line lay ahead, and just beyond was the Baltimore Pike, a critical lifeline of the Union Army. If Confederates could seize Culp's Hill and the roadway, they might control the battlefield. And mind you, of course, there were a bunch of wagons and all kinds of goodies just parked there, just parked on the Baltimore Pike. A ferocious night battle ensued. Smoke, darkness, and the roar of gunfire obscured the battlefield, adding to the confusion. Fighting resumed here early on the morning of July 3rd, but the Confederate attacks up the steep, craggy hill and against a dug-in enemy were futile. Nearly 2,600 Confederates were killed, wounded, or missing in what one soldier called useless sacrifice of life. Allegheny Johnson's men assaulted Culp's Hill in the darkness, but failed to drive Union defenders from the heights to your front. A year later, he was captured at the Battle of Spotsylvania. There's the sun. And there's Forbes Rock. If you look closely, you can see Garry kneeling down there, pretending to be a Union soldier, ducking from fire. Pretty neat. Glad the sun is still trying to hang in there with us. Wish y'all were here with me today. It's a gorgeous day, gorgeous morning, early afternoon. We do have clouds coming in, and it's not going to stay this way much longer. Take you back up the hill, kind of give you a virtual walk up the hill. I mean, just imagine, you know, now of course, as we know, the fighting began, you know, the Confederates started way down there, way past Forbes's Rock, across the field, across Rock Creek. They had to cross Rock Creek, open fields, get to the bottom, or what's known as Lower Culp's Hill, then get to this point by Forbes's Rock, then get all the way up the hill. Now imagine trying to do that with a dug-in enemy. As the sign mentioned, there were about 4,700 Confederates charging the position. I'm not good with the figures, guys. I believe there were, Greene's brigade was about 1,700 men. Don't quote me on the exact figure. I am not a battlefield guide. Licensed battlefield guide anyways. More important to know than the exact numbers is it was about 3 to 1. About 3 to 1. I'm just not great with memorizing numbers, y'all. That's why I consider myself more of a sociologist than a historian. You gotta remember all those dates, all those middle names. I'm probably not the worst at it, but I'm certainly not the best at it. So I think we've read this sign before, but it's been a while, guys. So, fight for the summit. Culp's Hill, occupied by Union troops all 3 days of the battle, was a critical right flank of the Union defensive line. Mid-morning on July 2nd, elements of the 12th Corps arrived to reinforce the hill, including the 1,400-man, okay, so 1,400-man brigade of George S. Greene. Of course, you know, numbers vary, but it was around 1,500, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. That night, as New Yorkers, along with reinforcements from the 1st and 11th Corps, successfully fought off 4,700 Confederates and held the upper summit. Before sunrise, fighting resumed with 22,000 Union and Confederate soldiers all battling for the hill. I love these paintings. One Union soldier recalled, "The whole hillside seemed enveloped in a blaze. The line of monuments to your right and left indicate the position of Union defenders, while Confederates assaulted up the wooded slopes to your front. After 7 hours of combat, the Union line held firm. The fighting here foreshadowed a new kind of war." I made point of this in a prior video, guys, so I won't belabor it. On the battlefields of 1864 and 1865, shovels and trenches proved to be as important as bullets and bayonets, i.e., that new kind of war was guerrilla warfare. Some would say that it was first somewhat developed by Washington, but it really began to take shape and was perfected during the Civil War. Brigadier General George S. Greene graduated second in the West Point class of 1823, and as I mentioned in one of the last videos, he was actually a professor to Robert E. Lee at West Point, probably in engineering. The oldest Federal general at Gettysburg, he mustered out of the Army in 1866, and as Tim Smith likes to point out, he would have no other part of any other century. He was born in 1801 and died in 1899. And again, this painting is by Mr. Edwin Forbes. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the fall edition of Culp's Hill. I may make another couple videos, and I may not. But hope you enjoyed the couple that I did record so far. I'll see you later.